To host a Quickplay server, go into Find a Game and select Create Server. From here, follow the settings I have set here. You can set the server name to whatever you want, but make sure the settings are similar to this. Keep in mind that a 0 is essentially equivalent to infinity. Also, you can start out with any map as long as it's in the default map pool as seen here. Create the server, wait for it to load, and then when it's done loading, go into the console and enter SV_tags, and then, after entering a space, type in truequickplay. And then add a comma and add another tag just to make sure it goes through. And then, if you want to be extra base, type in TF_forced_holiday2 to enable Halloween mode, and that's it! You just made a Quickplay lobby. Like, pure vanilla, everything. To find these pure lobbies, go into community servers and type in this box truequickplay and then... Oh, there they are! There are the vanilla servers I was looking for. That's how easy this can be! We can take back Quickplay. That's technically something that's been true since day one of Meet Your Match, but the thing that made it impossible back then, and the reason why nobody's really tried it, is because there aren't enough servers that run pure vanilla settings, and you'd think, after 9 years, there'd be someone who tries to essentially make a surplus of these to fix this issue. But outside of people like Zesty Jesus' personal servers, there's not really any options. But, thanks to an update with the Steam networking, it's now possible to make those vanilla servers yourself. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yourself. That's right, Fancy Pants! Just by ticking this tempting little box over here and then making a server with those settings I just showed you, it'll essentially act the exact same as an old Quickplay server. And the best part is because it's super easy to make these servers, you don't really need anyone to, like, maintain these long-lasting servers, which not only cost a lot of time, but also a lot of money. Granted, they only cost a lot of money if you're not a total nerd, but not all of us speak in Linux, so yeah. Now, there are 4 caveats behind this idea. One of them we can solve, one of them we can partially solve, and the other 2 are just going to be shit that we'll have to deal with if we want to go forward with this. Firstly, there's no real easy way to find these pure vanilla servers, and that's why I suggested that you added the tags when you made the servers, because you could technically just continue like normal, but then nobody's gonna find the server. So if we all search for one unique tag, which I'm thinking that we make it true Quickplay, because that's something you have to specifically add in and can't just accidentally add because of how specific it is, then if we just search for those servers and make sure to add that tag when we create a Quickplay server, then problem solved. We can find them much easier. Now, the second issue is, what if any large-scale servers that obviously aren't running the Quickplay settings try to use this true Quickplay tag? Well, that's simple. Just blacklist the servers when they appear. And if it gets to a point where there are hundreds of servers trying to impersonate us, then just blacklist every server that shows up, because for them, they have to run the same servers under the same IP every single time. But if you blacklist a server that's run by one of us, then that's only temporary, because I'm pretty sure when you make a new server, that isn't blacklisted. So if you blacklist every server at once, then the next time it happens with all of the temporary servers that show up, then it's gonna be all pure. Right, the third potential issue. Because the person hosting the server is playing in the game with you all, and because they have full access to the console, that means that they can just enter SV_cheats1 and then wreak total havoc on everything. But honestly, I don't see this as too big of an issue, as A, if someone uses SV_cheats1, then it's basically announced to the entire server that it's active, so pretty much everyone will just turn it into a chaotic cheat-filled war. But secondly, I'm pretty sure we'd rather prefer that than aimbots, right? Because screwing around with console commands is sort of a 50-50 if you want to play the game normally, between being really frustrating and fucking hysterical. Let's all be honest with that. If you haven't ever played around with the debounce code, I'll give it a try. But now, for the biggest potential caveat, remember when I said in the second section that all of these servers would be temporary? That's because, once again, the person hosting the server has to stay on the server for it to stay up. So, the only real solution for this is if you're going to create one of these servers, then make sure that you're going to stay on it for a really long time. Or at least make sure that everyone else is happy with you closing the server. Because if that happens, then they're likely going to have to set up their own. Because remember, they can be hosts just like you. And if there are enough servers, then we can just keep this rolling forever. So, yeah, going back to what I said at the beginning of the video, we've always had the tools to bring back Quickplay, but there just haven't been enough vanilla servers floating around. Well, now that you can generate them by just clicking a few buttons and not paying a single penny, I feel like we have a pretty damn good shot at bringing back Quickplay with the tools we now have in our hands with the Steam networking update. So, yeah, we may have had Quickplay robbed from us for 9 years now, but after 9 years of development, we're taking it back!